What is up, gamers and goons? Gannon here, back at it again with another fucking WFC, baby. It has been a long time since we've filmed one of these. COVID happened. I was pretty much without anybody, like any consistent cameraman for a while. We got my boy Caleb in the house, so he's helping me film today. Today is actually going to be our first themed episode. Prior to this video dropping, I'm going to be having my first like anime review out, which is going to be a review of Netflix's DoroheDoro. And in that show, a huge theme is that the main character and then also the sub-main character, Kaimon and Nikaido is the owner of a restaurant, and she cooks large quantities of gyoza for Kaimon in the show. And so today, guys, basically we're going to be making some veganized versions of that. We're going to be making some vegan dumplings from scratch. There are these dumplings that I get at my local grocery store that are like $5 a box. I'll actually get some real quick to show you. But yeah, as you can see here, we have some like organic vegan tofu dumplings, and they're pretty basic. I think there's about 14 in a container, but it's $5 a box. And I was like, man, how hard is it to make your own dumplings at home? And now, while it is tedious, I will say that it is not hard. And compared to $5 for like 14 to 12 store-bought dumplings, this recipe here is basically like pennies compared to that. We're using like flour, we're using really cheap ingredients like onions, soy sauce, seasonings, so this is going to be like way cheaper alternative to anything store-bought. All right, with that, guys, my rice cooker is making a little bit of noise right now getting heated up, but the first thing we're going to do, if you would come over here, we're actually going to be making the dumpling dough from scratch. Now, right here in this bag, I have pre-weighed out. If you are going to be making dumplings just for yourself, the way you make the dough is 9 ounces of flour, a half cup of water, and a half tablespoon of salt. This is just that right here doubled. This is a full tablespoon of salt and 18 ounces of flour because we're making 2 servings today because me and Caleb are about to have a fucking dumpling feast. So I'm going to put that in our bowl. Now, I'm pretty sure it's really important that you get like cold water and don't use warm water, but like I said, that recipe calls for half a cup, and this is just that recipe doubled, so I'm going to be using a full cup of water, and we're just going to be going straight in with that. Now, I'm just going to be getting in here with my hands, and we're just going to combine this really until we get a dough, and we're going to be using like pretty much all the flour that's in this bowl, so we're going to keep on kneading this together until we get all that flour combined. There's our ball of dough. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to start kneading this dough until it's smooth. And if you don't know what kneading is, you basically just take the ends of the bread, put it forward, smash it in, and keep on doing that. And there you go, you are now kneading it. So therefore you're like overlapping it, pushing it in, stretching it out, making it smoother. And you're probably going to want to do this for like legit at least 5 minutes. Alrighty, so that's about needed for my taste. We're actually like really close to getting there. A couple more times. Alright, so you see now there's this little kind of like, if you're doing it right, there should be a little bit of a, just like one abnormality kind of at the bottom. So what you're gonna want to do, like you're making like mozzarella, you kind of like press that abnormality inwards on itself, kind of make it pucker down there like that, close it up, pat it, and then right there you should have like a perfect dough ball. Alrighty, guys, and there we have completed. Right there is our dumpling dough ball, and I think the last thing I'm going to do is sprinkle it with flour. Also sprinkle our little holding device right here with flour. We're going to put it right here in our little device, and I'm going to cover it with a disposable paper plate. You just kind of need to cover it with something, and we're going to let that proof, and I'm gonna put this in the fridge while we go ahead and make our delicious dumpling filling. Alrighty, guys, now that our dough is proofing in the refrigerator, we are now going to make our delicious vegan dumpling filling. Now I'm going to show you how to cook this tofu and turn it into like a ground, like almost just delicious pork filling. This is going to be insane. I have 2 mismatched blocks of tofu, but the recipe today, we're gonna be calling for a whole block, so just consider this like a whole block. First thing I'm gonna be doing is just kind of like loosely grinding up the tofu and putting it in a pan with a decent amount of oil at high temperature. You want to keep this at high heat because chances are you probably haven't dried out your tofu substantially yet, and you're going to want to cook it at a high temperature. It's going to be really hard to burn at first, and in fact we want it to get like really crispy brown on the bottom. So we have our tofu in the pan, and what we're going to do, I have half an onion here. Just take half an onion, I cut it down the middle like that, and what we're going to do is finely chop this onion. So there we go, we got onion in the pan. We're also going to slice up some mushrooms. Add those to the pan. Now we're gonna get this combined. Basically guys, when I cook tofu with the premise and the objective of making it meat-like, I cannot stress this enough. Make sure all of your seasonings, your oil and everything is well combined with the tofu. Flatten it out in a, brittle pan like this. Put it on high heat and just let that baby just sit. We are going to cook the absolute living shit out of this tofu. Because if you don't, it's just gonna be like a wet, tofu-y, like lame mess. We want to make this into like a proper protein. We're gonna make it like very meaty-like. Another important factor in making it meat-like, since this is just like plain tofu right now, we're going to season the ever-living shit out of it. So heavy amount of salt. Don't be afraid of the sodium. We're gonna make some delicious, yummy takeout dumplings today. So we're gonna need hella sodium. I don't know what MSG is and why it apparently makes things taste really good, but I'm gonna get my hands on some eventually. And I'm gonna learn what it is. Because I feel like I could put that in this in like my fried rice and it would make it taste like crack or something. Salt on there, and now we're going to put some parsley. This right here is garlic powder. Just a big, there we go, hella garlic powder. Decent amount of black pepper. We really want to taste a bit of seasoning in every bite, for sure. This is just like a liquid teriyaki sauce. You don't want to put anything too thick. So just get like, the drippy, non-viscous teriyaki sauce. And now we're going to put a little bit of sesame oil in here for that authentic Asian flavor. And then here, the last most important ingredient is the soy sauce. Be adding in a decent amount of soy sauce in here. Holy shit. You smell that? That smells really good. All right, and here we are. I'm going to just put it on there, flatten it into a pancake, and I'm just gonna let it sit here. I'm just gonna let it sit there and chill for like straight up 4 minutes. I'm not gonna worry about the bottom getting burned because it's very hard to burn the tofu in this stage when it has moisture content in it. So we're gonna be back in just a few minutes and we're gonna show you guys what it should look like when you flip it, and then we're just gonna do another little time skip beat to when it's finished because you guys don't want to see me stirring this for the next 10 minutes. So I will see you in just a moment. Alrighty guys, we are back. Now if you wanna look closely right here, this is what your tofu should be looking like. As you can see right here, you got a nice texture. Everything in there is cooked beautifully, and it doesn't look like mushy, flavorless tofu. It looks like a crumble, like a ground. So that looks really nice. The final step, get yourself like a bowl or a vessel to put your filling in. And what I'm going to do is come over here to these green onions, chop them up into scallions. Save the rest of these stalks later because we're gonna be topping off our rice with some scallions as well. Bring our filling over here into this bowl. Then we're gonna take these scallions, take our spoon, and we're just gonna fold them in, and they're gonna wilt beautifully and just become one with the filling. And that right there is how you make the Gannon secret signature gyoza filling. Hey Caleb, I would just like you to smell that real quick and tell me how good that smells.
That smells nice.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. Alrighty guys, now the last thing to do actually now is to wrap our dumplings. So I'm going to get cleaned up, I'm gonna get organized, and we're going to be preparing for the wrapping of the dumplings. So we will get back to you guys when we are ready to do that. Alright gang, we're back. I have everything set up and we actually realized that we needed to make some more filling. So I have a bunch of filling in here. And one thing that I would also like to say is that I kind of forgot to tell you one of the ingredients to put in the filling. While you're cooking the filling at that high heat, it is very important that you give it a drizzle of sriracha and stir that in. It makes it taste very tasty. But with that being said, we've got our filling ready, we've got our dough ready. Now I'm going to show you how to turn this glob of dough right here, cut it down the middle, because this is 2 servings, like I said before. Alrighty, so as you can see, I have 2 perfectly awesome balls of dough here, courtesy of me and my dough handling skills. So as you can see, this is your 1 serving. Depending on how thin you make your wrappers, I like to make mine a little bit thicker so that I have a juicy, thick dumpling. This will make probably at most 24 dumpling wrappers. So what you're gonna wanna do is insert your thumbs right here in the middle and make it into a donut. And then just from then on out, you're gonna wanna work with the dough and keep on making it larger, making the hole larger, making the dough around the sides thinner. All right, there we go. That's me trying my best. That's like what it should kind of maybe look like. I'm going to then cut it into 2 strips, going to roll it out. Now, to be honest with you, when I was watching the video of like, you know, an experienced person doing this, it looked, you know, a lot better, a little bit more evenly spaced. So what I'm going to do is just kind of take this, cut it once more. We have 4 strips. There we go, let's make some indents. 2, 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam! I cut that into 24 pieces. That's what you're gonna wanna do. At the end there, you should have 24 pieces for 1 serving of dough. Actually not too bad. I kind of bootlegged it, but it doesn't need to be perfect. They actually do quite look like nice. Look at that. Actually kind of looks like I might know what I'm doing. The last step, and this is very important, this is very crucial. You are going to want to thoroughly coat all of this in cornstarch. That is what is going to like actually make this dumpling dough, and what is going to make the dumpling dough actually like react in the pan, get that nice golden brown on the bottom, having that chewy, doughy upper. So yeah, the cornstarch is definitely the most important part. You want to cover each of these little bits in cornstarch so that it's not sticking into anything and that they aren't sticking to each other. And then bam, we have 24 little pockets of dough right there. We're going to quickly repeat this process, put another 24 on this tray, and then me and Caleb are going to actually get to wrapping. I'm going to show you how to wrap a dumpling. We're going to see Caleb wrap a dumpling. Surprise, Caleb, you're gonna be wrapping a dumpling on camera, just to show you that even a caveman could do this. But anyways, yep, we'll be right back with you guys after we finish the remainder of the dough. Alrighty gang, we're back. And I have actually over here made a couple test dumplings, and I've come to the realization that I'm just like not that good at wrapping dumplings. There's a specific way you're supposed to wrap gyoza, and this guy was doing it on YouTube and he was like folding it over and crimping it. That was kind of crimping my style. Honestly, I'm not that good. I'm gonna show you what I'm about to do right now with these dumplings, because we're gonna bootleg it. We're gonna make them look good enough and functional, but probably not like restaurant style gyoza. What you're gonna wanna do is like take a bottle or something, or if you have a rolling pin and you're not like poor like me, you could use that. But I'm gonna use this like bottle of teriyaki sauce. I'm gonna dip it in my thing of cornstarch. I'm gonna get it covered. I'm going to roll out my little pocket of dough, and if you wanna get closer right here, Caleb. See, I'm rolling out the dough into somewhat of a comparable little blanket right there. Going to take a decent glob of filling in the middle of my dough. the Gyoza masters who actually have like, I don't know, dude, their dough is like super firm and dope. Mine's not that great. What they did was they were kind of like folding it and crimping it as they go. Since I'm bootleg and a little bit ghetto, what I do is I just kind of like, whoop, literally just fold it over. I close it. I make kind of like a dumpling shape. Like, there we go. Like, that's a functional dumpling shape right there. And then we're gonna add in like the crimps. So I'm just kind of like folding it over. You can see right here, like fold over, and then there's a crimp. In there, we have our ghetto, like as good as I can do dumplings. So yeah, guys, that's how you do it. So yeah, there's a dumpling wrapper. Take some more of our delicious filling. Now we're just gonna fold this over like a burrito or something. Close it, encase that filling in there, because we're not good at wrapping. Maybe one day, but not today. See, you kind of have that dumpling crescent shape right there. And then, there we go, there's one crimp, shitty crimp. Kind of want it, yeah, make it like pop out so it's actually like, you know, you can see it. Pop out at your party, I'm with the gang. Shoot a girl, I'm sorry. All right, see, that one kind of like fucked up a little bit, but it's good enough. And then once it's in the pan, you won't even notice that that little like bit is there. But yeah, no, I'm totally doing a good job at showing you how to wrap dumplings right now. And there we go. There are the dumplings that we have made so far. I'm going to show you guys our tray of dumplings when we're done wrapping these, because we're probably gonna be wrapping these for like the next 30 minutes or so. Oh. You're the noob, so you don't get the luxury of practicing off camera. All right, yep. Roll that puppy.
That's good enough. A little bigger.
That's good enough, probably.
I'll try that. Oh my god.
Yeah, kind of, you see, yeah, kind of make them meet up in the middle, fold inside, like that. The dough is stretchier than you'd think. Oh, he's almost got it, I think.
I'm getting there.
There we go, that looks good. He's crimping it now. Ooh, he's crimping it. Okay.
Alright.
That's not too bad, Caleb. That is not too bad at all. Look at that. For a first try? For a first try, that's decent. Good job, Caleb.
I'm content with that.
Content with that?
Yeah.
Pat on the back, buddy. Good job. Holy shit. What is up, gamers? We're back. These are all the dumplings that me and Caleb have crimped. Some of them are prettier than others. The fact is that when they're all done in golden brown, they're still gonna be beautiful. I know I'm not a professional gyoza maker yet. We will get there one day. So anyways, I have my pan right now on medium heat, and it's not really even hot yet. So I'm going to place all the dumplings on this plate in this pan. Now that those are all in the pan, make sure the oil kind of gets the bottom of all of them. I'm going to put it up to a medium to high heat now. We're just gonna let those cook a little bit until it starts to crackle and fizz a little bit. You definitely don't want to cook your dumplings too fast. While those are starting to cook, I am now going to show you how to do something extremely important. We are now going to be making the secret dumpling sauce. Now, I am sharing this recipe with you. I may or may not have to kill you after sharing this recipe with you because it is absolutely delicious. This is one of my proudest achievements, this dumpling sauce. I put it on top of fried rice, use it with stir fries, perfect dumpling dipping sauce. We're just gonna get right into it. The first main ingredient, the first main component is a decent amount of soy sauce. Now, no exact measurements here whatsoever, definitely not. Second ingredient, a big glob of sweet chili sauce. Third ingredient, decent amount of sriracha. Fourth ingredient, teriyaki sauce, black pepper, and then the last ingredient, decent amount of garlic powder. Now you see we have all that in there. Just gonna give that a stir, and oh baby, you can just see already. There we go. Get a good look at that, Caleb. Look at all those awesome flavors. That looks really delicious. That looks good too. Like, that's a really simple, easy sauce. It's packed full of flavor. And not only that, it's quite aesthetically pleasing. So that right there is my crown jewel, my pride and joy. few dabs of water. And right here what I'm doing, I'm just putting a plate atop of the gyoza. I put a splash of water in. That's going to steam up. That's going to cook the top of the gyoza. And then when the top of the gyoza doesn't look gelatinous and floury anymore, that's when we're going to flip and then crisp up another side. All right, guys, here we are, our first batch. Our first batch of dumplings. You know, they're not like super pretty. They're kind of pretty. I mean, those look like dumplings. They're obviously not like, I don't know, magazine level dumplings. Like I wouldn't put these dumplings in a fucking publication. They look good. They look functional. I'm now going to pick up each of the dumplings and cascade them around. Bam. There we go, guys. As you can see right here, I'll bring the light over because we only have one light right now. This is probably like an hour and a half worth of work right here to make the dough and dumplings from scratch. But we made this with rice, seasoning, sauces that I already had. A block of tofu is like $1, and then like flour, salt, you know, water. This stuff is all really cheap. So while it is a little bit time consuming, it is like a really, really financially worth it thing to do because we made all of this. This is a huge, delicious meal. All these dumplings for basically probably, this is like less than $5. Easily worth of food. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. If you wanna get a close up right there of the dumplings, and then also me and Caleb are about to have a really fun night of watching some shows. We got this beautiful homemade sauce right there, you see. Wow, this looks absolutely delicious. This right here is our Dorehedoro themed Cayman gyoza do-it-yourself vegan version. Last thing I'm going to do is take those scallions that I mentioned earlier and just put them over top. Wowee! Look at those right there, guys. That is done. That is completed. That looks absolutely beautiful. Bring it over here into the light. A big old fat tray of plump, delicious fried dumplings. Alrighty, Caleb. We're going in for the bite right now. Caleb is trying it because I've actually had these before. Caleb's really hungry, so. All right, Caleb, what do you think?
These are insane.
They're really good?
Yeah.
Do they taste like as good, if not better, than like takeout dumplings?
They're like as good, if not better, because I like them a little crunchy too. Like,
look at those right there. Those are definitely a winner. Got those nice, crispy fried dumplings. Special sauce. Do you approve, Caleb?
Caleb approves.
Caleb approves. Let's fucking go, baby. Alrighty, guys. This has been the WFC for the Dorehedoro inspired gyoza Cayman dumplings. Hope you guys enjoyed watching us make these dumplings from scratch. We are going to go enjoy them now. I'm gonna get absolutely toasted, go watch some Star Trek, and down these dumplings. If you enjoyed the video, please slap a like on it. If you are enjoying the content that you see on the channel, I'd be very flattered if you were to subscribe. And with that, I'm gonna have to see you guys in the next one. Peace.